Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Village of Webster Annual Organizational Meeting, July 8th, 2025. And the first item on the agenda is that we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. At this time, we will proceed to the general appointments and dates, etc., for the coming year. The first item on our organizational meeting is the appointment of the mayor, not subject to board approval. And the first appointment is for Jerry Ippolito Jr. as deputy mayor to act as mayor when the mayor cannot fulfill his duties. And secondly, I would like at this time to appoint Michael Morency as village trustee for a term ending July 7th, 2026. Which time, Mike, there will be another election for the remaining year in the term, and that will be followed by an election for 4 years. So at this time, we'll have you sign the book.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Moving on. Next we have board designations. The first designation is the candidate for National Bank to be designated as the official bank of the Village of Webster. And the second designation is the Webster Herald as the official newspaper of the Village of Webster. I have a motion to approve and a second.
I'll make that motion. I'll second. Dive right in. All right.
Let me just run through it.
Want to go all in favor?
Okay.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Next, we have the mayor's appointment subject to approval of the Board of Trustees. The first is a reappointment of Heather Halstead as village clerk for a term ending on July 6th, 2027. Second is the reappointment of Danielle Kruger as village treasurer for a term ending July 6th, 2027. Next, we have a reappointment of Karen Buck as deputy village clerk for a term ending on July 7th, 2026. Then we have reappointment of Don White as Village and Zoning Board of Appeals attorney for a term ending on July 7th, 2026, and authorize the mayor to sign the retainer agreement with Mr. White. And finally, we have a reappointment of Mike O'Connor as chairperson of the Zoning Board of Appeals for a term ending on July 7th, 2026. I will make a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
for Heather. Heather, do you need to be appointed as deputy treasurer? You list that.
Yes.
So add
Sorry.
that one to reappoint Heather Halstead as deputy village treasurer in case Danielle's not around and someone's got to sign something as treasurer.
Thank you. I think that's our first time since Joe left home.
Okay, so I have a motion in front of the board to reappoint Heather Halstead as deputy village treasurer for a term that would end July 6th, 2027. Oh, well, I think I probably have to stay in line with that for one day, like
Yeah,
deputy.
it's one.
So that would be to July 6, 2026.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Next, we have the Historic Preservation Commission and historian. And we have here a reappointment of Peter Alder as chairperson of the Historic Preservation Commission, term ending July 7, 2026. Next, we have an appointment of a new member, Tim Krumsing, as a member of the Historic Preservation Commission for a term ending July 6, 2027. We have a reappointment of Josh Durso as a member of the Historic Preservation Commission for a term ending July 8, 2031. And finally, we have the reappointment of Lynn Martin as village historian for a term ending July 7, 2026. Do I hear a motion to?
I'll make that motion.
I second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Next, we have the Zoning Board of Appeals. Two individuals. First, the reappointment of Larry Hall as a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals for a term that would end July 9, 2030. And the reappointment of Peter Adams as a member of the Zoning Board of Appeals for a term ending on July 9, 2030. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. We are now at the Business Improvement District, bid, and we have here an appointment of Mayor Byert, Trustee Lauer, and Bill Horace to the Business Improvement District Board of Directors for a term ending July 7, 2026. I hear a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carried. Next, we are on the Ethics Committee. First of all, we have the reappointment of Trustee Ippolito, Junior Village Board Member to the Ethics Committee, a term ending July 7, 2026. The reappointment of Karen Buck, Village Employee, to the Ethics Committee, again, the term ending July 7, 2026. And the appointment of Bill Horace, resident, to the Ethics Committee for a term ending July 7, 2026.
Make that motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Next, we have a motion for general office. No, before we go there, I'd like to add to this organizational meeting Parks and Rec Commission. So at this time, I would ask for a motion and second to reappoint Peter Elder to a term ending July 7th, 2026, and to appoint Josh Durso to a term ending July 7th, 2026.
I'll make it. The motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. General office. We have a couple of things here. Number one, setting the mileage reimbursement for authorized village employees traveling with their private vehicle to be 70 cents per mile. And second, village office hours shall be Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and Fridays, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. The village office will be closed on Saturday and Sunday, and the village will be closed for all general or government holidays, including, and the list of them is here, New Year's Day, Martin Luther, President's Day, Good Friday, Memorial Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day and the day after, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day and the day after, and the office will close on the 24th at 1 p.m., and it will be closed also on Christmas Day. There will be a village staff retreat that will take place on July 26th. I believe that is the 31st, is it?
I don't have the date yet, but,
In July
yes,
2026, the date to be announced.
sorry.
And at that time, I think offices will close at 3 o'clock?
12:30.
12:30?
Yes.
And following village policies are adopted as written in these sections of the policy manual. It shall be effective July 1st, 2025. And that is the procurement policy, section 5-2. Were there any changes from last year?
No, and I did include that procurement policy in your folder
Thank you.
with the updated date.
So do I have a motion to approve the general office motions?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Village meetings. Meetings are to be conducted according to section 2.2 of the policy manual. Regular village board meetings will be the second and fourth Thursday of each month at 6:30 p.m. Meetings of the Zoning Board of Appeals on the third Thursday of each month at 6:30 p.m. The village board workshop meetings will be on the first or last Tuesday of every other month, at 6 p.m., but only as needed. In the event that a village board meeting is moved to Tuesday, the meeting will start at 6 p.m. And there are a couple of those changes that will be made. The change in the following meeting dates: the village board meeting starting at 6 p.m. will be July 9th, moved to July 7th next year, 2026, to again accommodate the Fireman's Carnival. November 26th, 2026 meeting will be moved to November 24th. That is to accommodate Thanksgiving. The village will have one meeting for the month of July and December, and will take place Tuesday, July 7th, 2026 at 6 p.m. and Thursday, December 17th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. I have a motion to approve these changes of village meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Aye. Okay, next we have village board liaison assignments. You can look through those. I believe that there are a couple of changes as we are moving from Jude Lancy to Mr. Morency. And two of them would be at the Webster Museum and Historical Society. Trustee Morency would serve with Trustee Lauer, and the Historical Preservation Commission, Trustee Morency. Otherwise, I believe that they are consistent with what we had last year. So if there are no objections, and if there are changes to be made, we can look at those changes during the course of the year. I would ask for a motion to approve these designations.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have attendance at conferences. This is new. This is the second year it's been done. But this is like pre-authorization because these are somewhat consistent from year to year in terms of the attendance of the village representatives at them. To authorize village officials and employees to attend the following conferences or training schools as listed below. NICOM Fall Training, up to 2 staff, Public Works School, 1. NICOM annual meeting, 1, Mayor. Highway School, up to 2 staff. FLABOA Conference, up to 2 staff. And the MCFMIA Fire Inspectors Training, up to 2 staff. So this is pre-authorization for these conferences and meetings. I would ask for a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And then finally, our next organizational meeting will be next Tuesday, July 7th, 2026, at 6 p.m. And that will be here,
That's today. July 7th.
July 7th, 2026.
Man,
Don't scare me like that, I thought I messed it up.
1 year from
there
today.
you go. That sounds better.
Okay, you like that one? Exactly, 1 year from today, same time, same place.
Be there
Same
in the square.
people. At any rate, things seem to be going well, and so I would ask for a motion to approve the next organizational meeting date.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Well, I was asked how many people attend our meeting. Well, normally we have board, auxiliary people in the front, and then we have one who films and or tapes, and maybe 1 or 2 others. We don't have too many significant issues, but I would say that in the new year coming, there will be significant issues that are coming, not necessarily an issue, but probably some landmark decisions that will be made as we move forward with a couple of the grants, the BOA project, the New York Forward project, as well as possible changes to the village and town boundaries, and what will happen with the West Campus as things are beginning to move. So we'll see what happens. It'll be an interesting year. Okay. I guess at this time, we need to wait. Well, the meeting was scheduled to start at 6, so we can move right on to village board of business, I believe. There's not a lot on it, but there are a couple of significant things here. And so I would ask, first of all, anybody wishing to make a public comment? The floor is open to any individual who would like to address the board on any village issue. If not, then I'll close that portion of the meeting, and we will move to the regular meeting. First of all, we have a resolution to approve the claims and warrants. I was looking them over today. I did not have anything that was something that stood out to me. I know that there will be a number of things that will come up in the course of this month, as we are only meeting once, but the packet was very large, so we did try to get a lot of things in. Look through it, I'll give you a moment to look through.
How about Mooney Brothers Construction, $9,475 for a new front door?
Yes.
That should be in the business.
Removal of the one that is there. They're also working to the side, I believe, on the windows, correct?
Yep, a little bit, yeah. And working on the poles to fix the little panels that had fallen.
They had to reconstruct a little bit, apparently, the size of the new doors. are a bit larger than the ones that are there now. Apparently we went from large to smaller when they were last changed, and now to regular size.
Okay. I got one. Jake, Joe Johnson Equipment, emergency truck repair.
Yes, it was on the back con. So it's under the GP. That was when I shut off, but I would have to pull the bills again because it's been so long since I looked at them.
You want this?
Yeah.
And they came out to the shop, or was it like a road repair, or?
No, I think we had to bring it in, but we were without the back truck.
Is that the dealer we went through, or?
Yeah, that's who's the supplier of the truck.
Are they looking at Henrietta or something? I think?
They're at LaGrange there near, out Bridgeway.
Oh, okay, the city there, kind of the
Yeah.
police border,
Yeah, there's a bus error in it. Attempted to repeat the bus fault, unable to do so, check the fault log. So they had to call back to the manufacturer and check the fault log, and then they found an intermittent loss of communication. They went through and checked all the powers, grounds, and there was an intermittent signal loss.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
It sounded like a connector issue ultimately.
If there is no other comment or questions, I would ask for a motion to approve the payment of the bills.
I'll make that motion.
And I will second.
Trustee Belkane?
Aye.
Trustee Lauer?
Aye.
Trustee Morency?
Aye.
Mayor Byers?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, next you have in front of you a brownfield opportunity area for BOA, the Village of Webster, for the trustee resolution. You have also an additional handout, it is in lime green, called the Reimagine Webster BOA Implementation Grant. This is a project that's been going on, and at this particular time, we are looking to move forward in terms of this project. If you allow, I will read through this resolution. At a regular board meeting of the trustees of the Village of Webster, held here in the community hall, present, there are 4 of us currently present. The Village of Webster deems it to be in the public interest and benefit to enter into a contract herewith. Therefore, be it resolved, the Village of Webster Board of Trustees as follows. Be it resolved that Mayor Darrell Byers is with the representative authorized to act on behalf of all applicants in all matters related to state assistance under Section 970-R of the General Municipal Law for the project. The representative is also authorized to sign and submit application, execute the contract, request payment advances and reimbursements, redistribute contract reimbursements as appropriate, submit project documentation, and otherwise act for all applicants in all matters related to the project and to state assistance. Section 2, that the applicant and co-applicant intend to complete pre-development activities to advance development of the following projects identified and described within Reimagine Webster Brownfield Opportunity Area, the BOA nomination study. A, design of improvements for Commercial Street and Donovan Street, Village of Webster, to include the southern extension of Panama Road, project known as Project A, this being the portion of the project affecting village land the sole portion of the entire project being funded in part by the Village of Webster. And section B, program refinement and schematic design of improvements to the Webster Town Recreation Complex to include a public amphitheater, shelter structure with restrooms, realigned entry drive, and additional parking. This is known as Project B. The applicant requests funds in the amount of $268,200 for Project A above, representing no more than 90% of the total project cost. 10% of that would be funded then by the village. And $75,600 for Project B above, representing more than 90% of the total project cost, for the total funding request of $343,800. The applicant agrees that it will find the applicant's 10% share of Project A funding, and that the town of Webster co-applicant agrees that it will fund its co-applicant's 10% share of Project B. If approved, this authorization will take place immediately. This is a study that has been ongoing. It's been in process for quite a while. We did move through the first phase of it, and now we're looking to move into the second phase. The village looking specifically here at Panama, as well as the roads of Orchard, not Orchard,
Commercial and
commercial. And town then looking at improvements in the town as a co-applicant. The village taking the lead, they will be looking at public amphitheater, shelter structure, restrooms, and realigning the drive, which would allow, one, the parking and also the setup for the future, where we're looking to extend, or the town is looking to extend from Toyota on 250. That will be part of the project that we are waiting the state to say yes to, and that would be the renovation of roads regarding Mitchell B, Panama, Orchard, and also the extension in the town that would accommodate Fairlight. Ask it to solve. But I think this is very important. It's a good step forward, a great step forward in terms of us being able to move in terms of improvements. I know that we have been setting up a fund over the last few years for the improvements of Donovan. We haven't accumulated too much, but we do have, what, 30,000? Something like that, 40,000 we have? I don't know if you know, probably we have to go back and
I'm
ask.
not sure, I'm sorry.
But yes, we have been putting money in
Yes.
slowly.
Yes.
Looking forward to making improvements there. So this is a great opportunity. We probably have enough to get off that 10%.
Yeah, that's good.
So I would ask for, I think I would need a motion for authorization to move forward with this BOA application.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Trustee Belkane?
Aye.
Trustee Morency?
Aye.
Trustee Lauer?
Aye.
Mayor Byers?
Aye.
Motion passes.
So, hey, quick question on this. Jake, are they realigning Donovan to Panama then? Is that
No,
what they want to do here?
The discussion was going Donovan as it is, but then having another cut through potentially, that's part of the design, is a cut through that would go from the end of Panama down to Donovan.
Okay, that's what I'm looking at.
A little short stub there, yeah.
So you'll have two exits per se off Donovan. You go
Right.
that way to Panama or out to Orchard and
Yeah.
like it is now, okay.
Yeah.
As well as looking at making a little pocket park, I think. That was the original plan. We had a little 5-6 acre space. But, in the orchard. But that's later. Okay, very good. Appreciate that. And now we move to a motion to approve a budget modification. That is from the general fund, and the reason is for a front door replacement work around the front door entrance of Village Hall. It's been budgeted for the past 2 years, not completed, but the monies are available. They have been sitting in fund balance and are now currently looking to be used. So, from fund balance, AA 0900.000 fund balance, $18,425 to line AA 1620.415 building maintenance, $18,425.
Just out of curiosity, as part of the bills, you just approved $9,475 to Mooney Brothers for the front door replacement and trim work. So why are you transferring twice that out of fund balance?
They asked for, he asked for just half up front. So this is the
Okay.
full amount, we're paying half
So it's
currently.
18 grand to replace the front door?
You asked for 9, now it's 18.
Carl was questioning 9 grand for a front door, $18,000 for a front door?
Was that a bid item or something?
No, because it's under, but
Did you get 3 quotes?
we actually got, 4. But,
But it never actually got in front of this board to approve anything.
no, it's been approved for 4 years in a row.
No, I mean the actual contract for the work with Mooney Brothers.
If we do that, we just get quotes and then the board approves it. And Daryl approved it. I didn't know that we needed to approve a contract if it's been budgeted for, it doesn't?
Well, this wasn't, yes.
And it was in this budget as well.
Ask these trustees, if I was a trustee and you had 18 grand to replace a front door, I'd like to see that ahead of time before you authorize the work.
I mean, I have gone, I definitely have brought it up multiple times that it's not necessarily, Jake doesn't like this word, but it's not necessarily the safest thing, because.
No, I'm not saying that the work isn't needed, it's just the price. That's what
I
Carl
want to
was
see the
questioning.
quote.
We gave the quotes to Mayor Byerts and we wanted it done right, and we knew some of the quotes were like really low, and we just knew they were gonna come back and say it was gonna be more after, anyway, and then I've been fighting them to get this for 5
Only
years.
provide quotes.
Yes, I can absolutely do that. Actually, I did send them many times, because this has been a long process, but yes, I did send those out, and I can resend them. You have those in your email.
Okay.
Well, and it wasn't that bad 5 years ago when I tried to get it, but it's been tough to get it done.
And the mahogany doors or something?
No, but we have, the issue is
Golden
that,
doors?
See the big W engraved in there.
the issue is that they were put, and I don't, Jake, do you know when the last doors were put in? When these current doors were put in? So I don't know if you heard Daryl reference that they had to do some interesting work to make it, to use smaller doors, because technically they're residential doors, so it just wasn't great. So now they're commercial, safe, they won't rust, they look like, yeah. I just, so, but yes, I have emailed those out and I can read them.
I'm gonna put Jake on the spot, he's the expert. Jake, is that unreasonable, or is that going pricey then for 18 grand for that, or what are your thoughts there?
I am so cheap that I don't think I'm a very good reference, because I think everything is too damn much, to be honest with you.
And
It unfortunately doesn't surprise me. I know I was around when that one guy came in for the quotes, and I was just looking to see, but yeah, it was an oddball door, an oddball size. I know there were some people that wouldn't even quote it, right? There was
Yes.
one, I know,
yeah.
some of the bigger name ones are like, no,
No.
they make their own doors, so you can figure they could make them custom size, whatever you had to do, and they're like, no.
Alliance door refused to go, but, so they would be much more secure, they fly open with the wind, they currently don't have, so it, I mean, it's not that they're not safe, but the key, you have to lock it from the inside, and if there's an emergency, you have to be able to have your keys and unlock that. I've just been, something I've been trying to, like it's not like a latch on the inner door, it's a key, you have to be able to do, like, actually put the key in to lock and unlock it, so, no. Well, it's a deadbolt, but there's no latch, so there's a key, there's no push bar, they constantly fly off when it's a tough wind. Sorry, I'm happy, I've been begging for this for a long time, just because it doesn't look great out front, it's, it's not the best, safest, so I've just been, Daryl's finally given me the win.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to go with it.
And these will be, what did he say, shoot, what type of doors were they? I mean, what?
I'd like to see the quote. Yeah, true. It's,
Plus, that also includes fixing, 500 of that is to fix the poles out front that are just falling down. They're all rusted.
I do agree that everything's expensive.
Going to take me a minute to find an email.
I just, here it says, replace all existing double front door with a similar style fiberglass door to match, install all necessary hardware, handles, locks, etc., remove and reinstall automatic door opener, install new mailbox strap in the door, replace all exterior trim and around doors and windows with PVC trim boards, install any necessary trim on interior, trim around the pillars, remove and replace base trim around the front pillars with PVC trim.
Replacing the what, the automatic?
Yeah, well, it's, yeah, removing, I think he said removing and reinstall the automatic door opener.
I apologize if I was supposed to do the contract, I don't know if we've done that for other jobs, but, so I apologize, if I messed that up. But it definitely was budgeted for the last 4 years. Which is why I was
Yeah, I
thinking.
understand.
Well, I'm in favor of it. Well, I'll make the motion to approve the budget bond for the new door to the front of the office building in the amount of $18,425.
I reluctantly second this.
Mayor Byers,
Aye.
Trustee Belkane,
Aye.
Trustee Lauer, Trustee Morency.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Perhaps a suggestion, you approved the procurement policy earlier, of which there's one change that contradicts itself, because you made it that you don't need any verbal or written quotes for purchase contracts or public work contracts under $1,000, except at paragraph 6, it says, it uses the old number of $400. So they should be the same if you're changing it to 1,000. But my point is, perhaps this board should set an amount of either purchases or public work contracts that has to be approved by this board before they can go out. Pick a number, 10 grand, 15 grand, you know, so this doesn't happen again. To me, I think $18,000 should have gone here first.
I know you mean, I mean, it did. at the
It
budget.
wasn't on an agenda.
No, but it was on the budget discussion.
That doesn't
and we went
matter, it's
over-
gotta be on an agenda, like you do certain things, like to get a new Xerox meter or a copier. That came in front of this board, I don't know how much the copier was, but,
Because that's a contract. This isn't a
Right.
contract. I mean, technically.
well, it is a
yes.
contract, you should have signed something by this contractor for liability purposes.
Like approving, authorizing Daryl to sign it.
Well, there should, anytime,
No, right, is that what you mean? 'Cause-
yeah.
Okay.
If you get look, if you had work done at your house for this much money by a contractor, you get a written contract, and it's got all sorts of stuff in it that you sign. Hopefully, there's something like that floating around for this 18 grand, you're not just doing it on a handshake, right?
Oh, yeah, we just said, yeah, just do it. Without a credit card.
Anyhow, my suggestion would be to further amend the procurement policy, and whatever this board's comfortable, some number below which department heads they have to get, quotes if it's over between 1,000 and 7,499, you gotta get 3 written quotes.
Now, Mr. Swingley, if this was your project, you'd be speaking up, sir. Come on. Team, come on.
Forget I'm quiet.
Well, look, right for now, it's got, you could have something up to $34,999. It doesn't require this board's approval.
No, I don't agree with
Let's go shopping.
The, quick question about with the public works, like if we were doing the budget process and say we're doing sidewalks, we have, in this year's budget, we have sidewalks on Phillips Road that was part of the budget process and included in there on the, south side of Ridge, and that'd probably end up, I forget the exact number, but let's say it's 95,000 for argument's sake. That's been competitively bid. Would that require, before that work is done, to get board authorization for that? It's been competitively bid through, Monroe County, we're utilizing a county contract. I'm just trying to think about scheduling if that changes.
As long as the budgeted amount was, as long as the amount that you're spending isn't more than what was budgeted.
Okay, right, okay.
But, you said at one point this was budgeted. This wasn't budgeted for this year.
Yes, it was.
Well, then why are you transferring it from fund balance? You wouldn't have to move it from fund balance if it was actually in the budget.
That's a Danielle question. But yes, it was budgeted.
I
In
think
previous years,
No,
it was
this year, too.
it was budgeted in previous, well, then how much was in the budget for it this year?
I'm having trouble getting access to down there, so I will get you that information. But
I don't think it was actually in the budget.
I
Otherwise, you wouldn't have had to transfer from fund balance.
know it was.
That doesn't make any sense otherwise.
But there are a number of things that have been budgeted but have never been done. They've been put off, and therefore the money that was allocated.
No, that's fine, that's why it's coming out of fund balance.
Right.
But to get to Jake's thing, if you had specifically put in your budget, $19,000 for front door replacement, and it comes in at 18,000, okay, but this wasn't, I'm pretty certain this wasn't in this year's budget, otherwise you wouldn't be taking money out of fund balance. Because if it was in the budget, there's no reason for it to come out of fund balance.
There are a number of things that are going to be coming out of fund balance.
The reason is because she's trying to get down the fund balance. That's why we're doing it this way instead of the other way.
There are a number of things that haven't been done in the past years that money has been put into fund balance that is artificially raising that up to a point that New York State says, you don't have, you have too much money in this unassigned fund balance. So how are you going to use it? Well, there are things that we have asked for that haven't been done, been put off for whatever reason. This monies have been put in there, so let's use it. And let's bring down that unassigned fund balance.
Yeah, I'm looking at the budget here, it was removed out of the projected with a note in here, need to use unreserved fund balance, so kind of, it was like, hey, let's not, because it was in the last 2 years, it went into fund balance, so don't rebudget it at the time of the project to take it out of fund balance or transfer out of fund balance and bring that down rather than budget it again.
To not further increase the problem. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, that's what the
Because
notes
it's,
here.
we're bordering
So
on.
what was the amount?
Well, it was 18 grand for, it says here, break room doors, windows, need to use unreserved fund balance or reserve, or set up a reserve. And then there's another one, that was building, buildings equipment, the 200 line, the 415 line, which is a building maintenance, had a similar note in there for another 14,685. So I'm assuming, I think there's a breakdown depending on the cost of whether you can do a capital, you account them as a capital project or as a maintenance issue, whether it's a 200 or 400. So she had 18 grand in the 200 line and 14.6 in the 400 line for those. This is basically the same note in both lines. Hmm?
Money is there then.
Well, it's not a matter of whether the money was, yes, the money was there.
Yeah, okay.
The question is, like, you were surprised at spending $18,000.
I still am.
Right, so, you know, if you want to see these things ahead of time, that's your prerogative. And the board, you know, if you want to get board approval of these kind of things ahead of time, again, that's your prerogative. Otherwise, technically, the way things stand, if they're in the budget and up to $34,999, department heads can go ahead and do it, and you'll just have to, you'll approve it. You're actually approving it after the fact. You know, the agreement with the contractor for the door had already happened, and so what are you gonna do now? You're sort of stuck with it, right?
There will be a number of things in DPW as well as general office, so. Well,
You're thinking we should come up with a number, 15,000, anything?
I'm thinking 12,000.
You know, whatever we come up with is a number, it has to come across the board, you know, so we can review it type of thing. Is that what your suggestion was?
Yeah, at the time that the quotes come in,
Which
you,
number? Which number? I want to make sure I don't mess that up, because these were both 400 right here. This was 400.
Oh, just like a dollar
No,
value.
I'm sorry, I'm going back to the procurement.
I think you said number 6, right?
yeah, those two should be 1,000.
Okay.
But you digress.
Sorry.
So, you could add in there that, you know, any purchases that exceed, that the board, you know, the boards, you know, shall review the quotes for any purchases for public work contracts over $12,000. So then you see the 4 quotes ahead of time. pick the lowest one and say, okay, go ahead and do it or don't.
I'm good with that.
Jake's stuff's a little different, because sidewalks and roads, it's not like you have a ton of different people you can go to do that stuff.
Right.
It's sort of a, you know,
Should we work on language for this and then present it to the board at the next meeting?
And I totally understand what you're saying, totally. But, you know, it's kind of like when we go over the projects that we're looking to do and at the budget just meeting and all these budget workshops. And then, you know, you say, oh yeah, that makes sense, and we go over it, and then we add it to the budget or no, or whatever. And then, so,
I don't think at that time it would be very difficult to put in a cost.
I guess I just don't, what's the point of coming up with a,
Generalization, right?
yeah, which, I have no other
Well, that's why
project.
the stuff you budget, that's just an estimate of what you think something's gonna cost. When you actually go out for quotes, it could be either be more or less. So just because it's in the budget doesn't mean
Right.
that that's the amount that's gonna be spent.
But we do need to stop budgeting for things and then not doing it, because,
Well, that's a different question.
well, but then if you're gonna say, oh, no, that's too much, but we budgeted for it, like 6 months down the road or whatever, when actually you go to do the project, then you're increasing our issue with our unreserved fund balance, if you don't do it. So,
Well,
can,
if they didn't wanna do it, it never should have been in the budget in the first place.
well, they did.
That whole, forget talking about the doors, we're past
I
the
know,
doors.
I know, I
Just
know,
talking-
I know.
We're just talking about
I
the
do, I know,
future.
but like these other projects that we haven't done that keep increasing our unreserved fund balance over and
What
over.
other projects
understand
are,
the issue.
what other projects that haven't been done?
We had windows in the back office and break room, but frankly, some of the costs were insane. So we're gonna hold off and keep looking at other costs, but then we keep doing other things and get busy and don't look at other costs, and then unfortunately the costs sometimes go up. But, you know, I forgot what the one quote when we were looking at the break room cabinet area there, it was it
40.
40 grand? Yeah, it was absolutely insane. That was, like, no, we're not gonna do, we can build something or figure, you know, it's, you know, like I said, maybe I'm too darn cheap, but.
I'm just wondering,
Well, that's your decision. If you budgeted it, you know, bring it to the board. If they agree with you that it's too much money, then fine. But that's a decision you and Heather end up making, not that this board had anything to do with it. Decided to put it off.
Yeah. Well, maybe if we can work on language, then we'll have it. We'll
So I guess, so don't blame the board for the projects that get being put off. We're gonna blame it on
Oh,
Jake.
no, she was blaming me.
We're blaming it
I'm
on
not,
Jake.
I'm not blaming the board at all, I promise.
So,
I didn't say
Get it
that.
done.
I am.
However, I think that.
it just seems to me there's inconsistencies. Some contracts get put in front of you, like the copier was one example, the telephones are another example, but this one didn't, you know, so they either all should be, you know,
Or within the.
the copier and the phones was probably less than $34,999 to it. So why'd you bring those to this board?
No, that makes sense, and I try to bring everything to the board. It was just, this was our first, really, I think our first big
Yeah, so
project
I-
that the front of office has been.
She got excited for the front doors and wanted to get it pushed through.
Only 5 years to.
That's fine. That's fine, we're beyond the front door. So if 12 grand's the number, then Jake can think of putting something in the procurement policy to address that and bring it back to this board.
And then if there's a big, which I have
In
nothing
August.
else, bring it to the board again and say, hey, just, we budgeted for this is what we're thinking. Go from
Well,
there.
no, in the budget, at the budget time, that's when we're thinking of doing A, B, and C, we want to budget $15,000 to replace windows or whatever. But then when you actually go out and get the quotes for the windows,
Yeah,
the board sees those quotes, and then they pick the contractor and say, okay, you know, you're now authorized to sign an agreement with vendor, whoever it is, ABC.
okay. Got it. Thank you.
I would say with educated. personally, if something came to me with three quotes or four quotes, I would not necessarily look for the cheapest one, nor would I know necessarily those four vendors, those four, people who are quoted. So I would like to have information provided to the board regarding each one of them, not just come in, okay, here are four things, then come in and say, well, blindly, there's the cheapest one, that's one I want.
Well,
I don't think we need to do that.
right now, the way the procurement policy reads is, this is paragraph 4. The lowest responsible proposal or quote shall be awarded the purchase or public work contract, unless the purchaser prepares the purchaser being someone in the village, prepares a written justification providing reasons why it is in the best interest of the village and its taxpayers to make an award to other than the low bidder. If the bidder is not deemed responsible, facts supporting that judgment shall also be documented and filed with the record supporting the procurement. So that goes along with what you're saying, it's already sort of in there. You don't have to pick the lowest responsible one, but you gotta have reasons why you're not.
What do you do, a background check?
Well, you ask for references, yeah, that happens all the time from contractors, and you call them up and say, what was your experience with this, or whatever.
Well, a lot of us know some of
Yeah.
these guys. Jerry does a lot with the construction, so he knows a lot of the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I typically call him when I'm looking for a
We should also
recommendation.
look at what they're going to offer.
Yeah.
And what was offered by one person was different than the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
But that needs to be rewritten.
I will resend the quotes. It was a while ago when I sent them, so they're probably way down in your email, but I will resend them tomorrow.
And should we set it at 12,000?
Well, that's up to you, that's what,
What do you guys think? 12,000, 15,000? Mike, any thoughts? Ariel, what do you think? A number? You comfortable with that? You want to make it 15?
This, I would say 15 in
we're
current
gonna count
count.
on it next time.
Otherwise, you're looking
What
at
arbitrary number are you gonna pick?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that, I think I'm.
I'm good with
There's
15.
something that's stuff up on
You know, you have to do
the-
that for something
You want to
that's
look
not
at.
competitively
In terms of government,
you know,
what they charge government,
or committee bid or RFP process.
you would say,
Results.
that's ridiculous.
Review
They'd
things.
say, well, that's,
Somehow like that.
what we charge.
So that's, RFPs are for anything over $7,500. Same. And then
Yeah, that's true, everything
for
for
public works,
municipal
though,
stuff
it's
is always so
$3,000
much higher, but
for an
5
RFP.
years ago, I
I don't
don't
know
know, year
why
I
that's
brought it
not
up, it was much.
Probably 10 grand or something.
Same, I don't know.
Our budget didn't want to.
There's a big gap in the thing, so maybe it's something to look at.
All right, let's set it at 15 then.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
All
15.
right, this goes, well, this,
Oh, this is purchases and then the other one's public works contracts.
Right.
It spells federal municipal law there, right, those two.
Shall we, there was a motion and a second.
I'll make that motion.
Wait,
There was.
did you, Jake was wondering if we could come up, fix the language and bring it up at the next meeting, if that's okay? With the procurement policy? Did you want us to do that, or?
Sure, we can.
Okay.
But you would like that, I missed what level when we're rewriting it. You said
15.
15. What was it now? 1,000?
Well, basically, there's a gap between 1,000 and 34,000, 35,000.
Don, do I still make those $2,000 changes though?
yeah, those still have to be changed. It's like the 400.
Okay,
Those won't get voted on until this other new change,
got it.
their addition gets put in there.
All right, so I'll make these yellow or red or something.
Well, you have to figure out if you're gonna tie it into RFPs, the numbers should probably be the same. I don't know why this,
All right, so our 10 treadmills that we're gonna buy for the office, we'll have to, we'll get you some quotes
purchase
for that.
contracts, you got broken down.
So-
more than
And hot tubs.
public
Were we
works.
going to pay for the front door?
Oh, yeah.
I know we have money to do it.
Are required for under 1,000, but there's
Yeah, because we basically took,
oh,
We
written
need
quotes.
authorization.
Right.
So so.
Not currently.
10,075.
Currently you don't,
And then
because
75.
as it says now,
Under
He was just saying
20
going
grand, you can get
forward,
written
it
board
should
or
be
an RFP.
up,
It's like-
you know, the
it's
board
like
can
an
see that,
RFP.
which makes sense.
Well, written
But
quotes.
currently, I don't think we need a board vote.
Well,
We already
now
did
if
anyway.
he's
We already did,
got
right?
a motion in the village.
Yeah.
to
Well, for
send
the
out to
budget
people to
modification or for the,
asking for
Budget
quotes.
mod.
yes,
Yeah.
that you do, yep,
Yeah,
because we have to take that fund
I
out,
don't know
but,
why you are.
yep, got it, yep. But, so going forward, they're saying, you know, we should be bringing that to you, which I don't have that many projects, so. That's,
Take it.
and the reason we had the money for the door, we budgeted to 18, sort of, but we took what he's not spending on the break room, so.
That subject, we need some signs.
Oh, yeah, so I was gonna bring that up during my time, if you wanna talk about that.
I'm not sure what.
So we're, right now, I have a motion and a second for this budget amendment.
Yep, and we're good, I have it.
You want to put it out again? We didn't vote on it.
You
Oh,
did,
we did.
yeah, you did.
There was a,
Because.
did you say yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because Al said reluctantly.
Right.
It's gonna be beautiful,
Sure.
Over 3 grand.
and it's gonna be titanium, so,
What a
oh,
beautiful bill.
I know, so he told us it'll last 30 years, 30 years, it's gonna last. That's the, and it has a,
Projection.
it has a,
You're the only one around, probably.
I know. It's, what do you call it, when it has the life, it's,
A warranty?
warranty, yeah. So, and it won't rust, the current one is all rusted and coming apart, so this one won't rust. And it'll hopefully supersede me, it'll outlive me. I will build it.
Well, at this point, that concludes village business, but other business, Don, there must be more.
Wow, I figured you were at the adjournment part by now.
Yeah, it's funny, the longest meetings are when we have 3 items. Like, oh, I can get home and have some dinner, I haven't eaten at lunch yet, nope.
The only thing, so getting back to the changing the municipal boundaries for Xerox,
Yeah.
the last stage of the process is an annexation map has to be prepared that shows, you know, like what lands go into the village and what lands leaving the village, or what lands go into the town, what lands leaving the town. The statute doesn't say who pays for that. It's sort of at the tail end, so it's sort of implied that it's a municipality. But shouldn't Xerox pay for it? Although Xerox, all Xerox really wanted was to change the boundary for the West Campus. They didn't really care one way or the other for the stuff that's going to the town. So maybe they'll push back against the town, but only because I've been getting email. Kyle, no,
Their attorney?
the town attorney, Kyle, what's Kyle's last name? So my mind's a blank. Anyhow, I apologize, Kyle. He was asked by Matt about how the tax maps gets adjusted, so Kyle or someone within the town contacted the county, and the county says, well, it's all, once we get the annexation map, that changes they'll just add it to whatever parcels are nearby, I guess. It doesn't have to go through a subdivision process, that's what they were worried about, that it had to be subdivided. Kyle Taylor, thank you. So anyhow, but I think if we're gonna ask Xerox to pay for the maps, they should know about it up front. Like now, not at the tail end, because they could say, no, forget it.
Yeah.
Do you agree? They've already had,
I do.
they've already gotten Colliers to map the whole West Campus thing, so that shouldn't be a big deal, since they've already done that. They had survey maps for that recently.
town.
The 30-some acres that's ultimately going to the village. They've already got that one done. It's just the two, I suppose it should be the town that doesn't worry about that. And there's something to bring up with the supervisor. Like, the village shouldn't have to pay for the map of the pieces that are going from the village to the town, right? Either the town should pay for it, or Xerox should pay for it. And Xerox hasn't mapped those yet. Those will have to be new ones, you know. they'll have to
That
send
little
them.
piece that goes out to Ridge Road,
Right.
and that should be what the town is looking for. I would think that they would.
Well, the statute, the general municipal requires that a survey be done. You can't just use an existing tax map or something. It's got to be, you know, meets and bounds description of it. So someone's got to pay for a survey. There's a survey that 60-foot wide strip, 30, whatever it is. And for the other piece that's, was it north of Mitchell in there?
Yes. I just double checked my notes here. I swear that was discussed
That
at
would
that
be-
one meeting, and I thought it was because of the way the law read it, the municipalities are doing the maps. You know, that's-
Xerox seems very involved in that, don't you think? I mean, that is something that we have, and that village did, it's because of Xerox. It's all under Xerox property. I mean, it's in the village, but it's in Xerox property.
Xerox owns it, yes.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be on them then to, they want to change that?
But my point is, they didn't necessarily want to change that. That was a suggestion made to them, just for ease of future development of the two pieces east and west of that strip of land. The only one Xerox really cares about doing is their hot to trot on redeveloping the West Campus. So they wanted to get that municipal boundary moved. The other two, they really didn't care when they got done, if ever. But the suggestion was, well, since we're doing, changing the boundary for the West Campus, why not include the other two, you know, kill three birds with one stone, so to speak. You know?
To me, it seems like if we didn't, if the town wasn't included, that they would not give up the property in the West Campus. They're looking for something in return. In other words, we're not going to move back more, you know, for nothing. So I can understand that. where they're coming from.
Yeah, the question is just who's paying for the land?
Right.
And you know, it would make sense for at least the West Campus parcel to hire Colliers to prepare the annexation map, since they've already surveyed it before for Xerox. But it's an additional work they gotta do, someone's gotta pay them. So the question is it gonna be Xerox or is it gonna be the village? The statute, if I can find it there, is unclear. You know, it just says a map shall be prepared.
Person would like to see Xerox working.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah, so let me talk to Matt Eldred. He's the attorney at Harder Seacrest for Xerox. And say, you know, maybe he's under the impression that Xerox is paying for it anyhow. If he is, great. If he isn't, we need to discuss it now as to who's paying for it.
Right.
I just bring that up because I just got an email from him today about it. But that was just addressing when the map had to be done, not who was paying for it. And it's not done until at the tail end. It doesn't have to be done as part of the petition. All right?
Remember that, bring it up in time.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Huh?
Thursday at the WIDA meeting. Maybe they bring it up.
Yeah, if you want to talk to Tom about it, tell him, you know, these annexation maps have to be prepared at the end of the whole process. And the question is, who's paying for the maps? And if we want Xerox to do it, we should.
Well, don't ask who's paying for it, say who's paying for it, Xerox or you guys?
Right, don't even make it clear to them now.
Don't even give a chance to say the village.
And again, just, my sense is they won't have a problem with the West Campus map, because that work's already been done, and so it shouldn't cost as much as having to prepare brand-new maps for those two pieces that are gonna end up with the town. But yeah, if you could mention it to Tom, and just to let him know it's something we gotta talk to Xerox about. But that's all I have.
Okay. Well, front office? Anything else?
I'm all out of everything.
Jake?
The bid is published for the pole barn. There's, I think I sent 5 bid packets out so far. And that's due on the 21st. So that's going along. We did have Sunday evening, unfortunately, I wasn't fast enough. We had 3 or 4 little, children, I gotta be careful, down at the well field smashing some windows with pole. We didn't find the police came down, they were absolutely great. We didn't catch them, they were already gone by the time I got there. And then as I called them on the way out, they had an accident at Salt and Lake Road at the same time, so I kind of expected a delay. But it wouldn't matter, like I said, they were gone by the time I got there anyway. But we were able to, there are the windows and the overhead doors that we just have, you can't get the oval windows, they're from 1960s doors, so we end up just plating them, so they can't get the plate off. We have diamond plate with some studs in there, and then put backers on them and bolt them up there to keep them out, but it's still fun.
Still have your deer camera down there?
Yeah, I have a couple of the cellular camera, trail cams down there that are up, and that's what alerts me. The only problem, you can't adjust the sound, the notification. It's just a little, and that sounds like a lot of other things, and it sure is not gonna wake me up, ever. But this was early enough, and it was, I think, 6 o'clock, or just before 6, but, yeah, I sit down there, but I think it was about 20 minutes after the camera went off when I finally saw the alert.
It doesn't catch them on site, does it?
What's it?
Does it catch them on site? I mean, is it set at the,
Oh,
in
yeah.
a tree, looking at the building, so that they do something, they turn around, and it catches them, or?
Yeah, no, it's a motion activated camera, and there's some settings as far as, how frequently it'll take pictures. But it's, I've got it set up in a spot where if they go over near the garage, it'll get activated, and then it kind of takes their pictures. It's not the best, with faraway pictures, it's not the best camera, But it's certainly better than a lot of them I've seen posted online when they're looking for somebody, so I don't know what some of those pictures were taken with, but, you know, if I would have seen them, it was they had pretty distinct pair of shorts on. In fact, I was thinking about seeing if we could put it on our Facebook page, just saying, hey, know these, and ideally, the parents would recognize the swim trunks and take care of matters. Or we could come over there and fix something. But, there was a report made and everything, so.
Got it?
That's it.
We gotta look at that wood down there. Again,
Yes, we do.
Anything else?
What's the status on those signs? I know I missed the last meeting. Where are we at with the signs?
I don't know, looked at a different design today. So, it's in progress.
All right. Every time I see those two signs, I just shake my head. They're awful, coming in from the east or west.
Or from
It's
the south.
embarrassing, just,
Or from the south.
yeah.
oh, yeah, that's right.
All three.
Well, the south, by the water tower's not bad, and it's fine. So these two here, they just feed it right out.
Yeah, they are,
Yeah, be consistent.
especially the east side. It's really,
Get some rain.
yeah.
All the people at the fireman's carnival looking at that, shaking their head.
I got a quote a few years ago for somebody to repaint the signs, but there wasn't consensus on what to go in, what he could put in the center of it, because this gentleman can't paint wildlife, he couldn't paint the birds. So I know we've brought some renditions or renderings about, like the gazebo and things like that he felt he could do, but we could get them, I think it was $700 or $800 a piece to hand paint the signs with the gilt and all the gold, and you can have that done until, I'm assuming cheaper than the new ones would be if there's, isn't this part of New York Forward too, is wayfinding stuff, and would the signs be included in that?
I don't know, Mike.
And I wonder if
Do
it'd
you
be
know,
good.
do you remember
I think
how
we
much
put
it
them in
cost
there.
for the one out in front of Village Hall? Because that is a little different than wood and grade, but
Yeah. I'd have to,
that's easier to work with, I would think.
yeah, I'd have to look back through, yeah, it's not dye bond either, I forgot what it's a poly thing. I'd have to look back through and see what the cost was. I probably have it on here somewhere, but.
Well,
Yeah, we just
It's in
figure out, we
progress.
need something done,
it's in progress.
yeah,
It
okay.
could be done.
I've heard that before, but.
Yeah.
I actually talked this morning.
Okay.
I was talking with,
Jake's a pretty good artist. He could do something.
I do have some
Well,
skills.
Chris gave us a bunch of options on there,
I'll do
so,
it.
I mean, if you want something different, talk to her, or Jake's got somewhere, we just need to get something
oh,
done.
Karen's working on something.
All right. Right, Peter?
Well, we do need to get some clarification on if it's part of the New York Forward, then when will that happen?
Yeah.
Well, we're not gonna wait necessarily for it, but if
Yeah.
it comes, we ought to have a design that is ready and effective, and we hear that.
But in the meantime, I can get them painted in probably a couple weeks if nobody yells at me about what's in the middle. I'm just waiting, hey, what do you guys want in the middle? So I can paint the things,
Apple.
get them done, and
But we don't have apples anymore.
Use a museum bicycle.
I liked what Daryl said today, though, on the back. You said, come back again, or,
Something on the back.
that's cute. He's
Don't
coming
come
in.
back.
Y'all come back again.
Come
Doesn't
back
have to
in
be
here.
big, it can be between the posts or
Come back.
See ya.
whatever. See ya. Bring your money in.
See ya.
All right. Well,
just for reference, that Shands Park one that was done in 2011, and don't let anybody yell at me about saving my emails too long, because I was able to look this up, was about $1,100. That's a two-sided sign that's in gray, it's carved, or not carved, but I'm sure it's some sort of machine. But yeah, that was, oh, wait a second. Oh, it was 2 signs, that's why, one at each end. So yeah, they were about $1,100 a piece.
So she's not too bad, was it $12.85?
Yeah.
13 years ago, 14 years ago?
Yeah, no, they absolutely do, you know, it's great, great stuff. But again, I can get the guy out there, repaint him for now, and then if you want to have a plan, you just, I don't know what to put in the center. But if nobody,
Well, that's-
you gotta leave it up to me, I'll pick something cool and,
Not leaving it up to you.
no.
Peace sign.
He puts shapes on his apple pies and stuff at Thanksgiving. It's pretty impressive. Jake. He put a turkey on it. In pie dough.
Not sure that would go over too well with the general population. All right, our next village board meeting will be August 14th. It's no longer, we have a meeting this month. That'll be the 14th. And invite you all to come and partake in the festivities that are going on, starting tomorrow. The parade on Thursday, starting at 6:30, I believe. And of course, lots of goodies there, lots of ways to spend your money.
Bunch of free chairs on Main Street right now.
Yeah, there
All right, well, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. See you next time.